My voice, my voice, my voice is coming to you from the inside of this telephone box.
It is February 2017, Central London. We've now entered a totally new era of eavesdropping. I'm speaking to you from the inside of what is the last standing of London's classic red telephone boxes. Since mobile telephones, these spaces for speech have been in deep decline, being now almost solely reserved for those most anonymous of telephonic acts. Yet those coming in here in an effort to avoid having their voices traced, identified, or captured might think twice, as right now you are hearing my voice that is being recorded by a new piece of urban surveillance infrastructure, the laser mic. You see, my voice inside this box is moving around the air, and then that air is moving the window panes. The laser beam is imperceptibly pointing at the exterior surface of the window and is being moved ever so slightly as my voice makes the window vibrate. By reading the tiny movements of the laser beam on the exterior surface of the glass, this technology then can record whatever sound happens in the interior of this space. It's not the telephone line then, but the minutely vibrating architecture of the telephone box that is recording my every word. Many of us who are sensitive to sound first heard about this technology in 2011 when it was used on the windows of Osama bin Laden's Abbottabad compound. Using this technology, they were able to hear inside that compound and from a great distance identify his voice and confirm his presence. We were amazed by this technology then. Now it is installed on gyroscope mounts atop every lamppost in the city, penetrating into the interior of almost every room with a window. We are less than impressed. 2017 2017 is indeed the first year where we are truly forced to consider the sonic footprint or imprint we are leaving on the world around us. It was not the window panes and laser microphones that were responsible for this acoustic revolution. What really changed the way we were being heard in 2017, what really inaugurated this new era of listening, and what really changed the way we spoke to each other, can be traced to a series of experiments at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I first heard about these experiments led by Abe Davis in the summer of 2014. These experiments used the same principle of vibration as the laser mic, but this time to turn almost all objects that surround us into microphones. Objects like a potted plant, a box of tissues, the foil wrapper of a Lindt chocolate bar, and a bag of potato chips. Because they were reading the vibrations of our speech from the surface of these objects by using high-speed video, they initially called this invention the visual microphone. Now we simply accept that almost all things can behave like microphones, and so no distinct term for these everyday objects is required. The way objects are made nowadays has become a sensitive topic of conversation, and everything in the world is now judged by its fidelity as an audio recording device. For example, the most high fidelity of all visual microphones is the bag of potato chips. That most ubiquitous of snacks has become totally feared by the criminal underworld, as its wrapper is both flimsy and reflective, impressionable but not absorbent. Yet these objects never give a crystal clear clarity of sound reproduction. There is always other noises that they produce in excess of the sound stored on their surface. This sound has come to be known as the object's sonic color, or its individual voice. And herein lies the true revolution of our relationship to objects in 2017. For it is now not only that we are being heard by objects, but for the first time we can hear the voices of the objects themselves. This has led to the beginnings of a new language, and a new vocabulary of object sounds is emerging. A new way of hearing our world. Yet what I have observed is that the more surveillance increases, the less we are actually listening to each other. Yes, our voices can be plucked out from the surface of objects, amplified, singled out, and listened to at any time, but when we want to speak to the state, in those rare moments where we actually want our voices to be heard, it seems we fall on deaf ears. Let me give you an example. Say I'm looking out onto the street through the window panes of this very telephone box, and I see a car crash. No, I see a hit and run. I would then pick up this telephone receiver and call the emergency services. Thanks to the new technology called the traumometer, developed by Delft University and implemented across Europe in 2016, my call would not be put forward to an emergency call operator, but rather to an algorithmic listening software that would determine the priority of my call depending on the level of stress that it detects in my voice. The idea behind that is that the more stressed I am, the more my voice fluctuates in pitch. These micro fluctuations, undetectable by the human ear, is what is then used to measure the severity of the incident I have witnessed. My stress levels determine my position in the emergency call queue and how long it will take for my call to be answered. My witness testimony has been reduced to a sum total of muscular tension audible in my vocal cords. In 2017, I am but the tiny jittering oscillations of my larynx.